Welcome aboard, Captain.
All right, guys. So it has been about a week since I last recorded. Unfortunately, I have been extremely busy with work lately and haven't had the time to get around to show you this awesome, almost conclusion to our website. So let's go ahead and boot up our website and see where we left off. I believe we left off at the notifications. So let's take a look at notifications here. We'll go to contact, and wonderful. So now that we have that open, let's open it up in Sublime, and I will bring that over to here. And we will go to resources, views, and why is that? Okay, resources, views, pages. Oh, contact. My bad. Okay, contact form. Wonderful. So we have all that. We have yet to define an action, and I believe that we are using a contact controller. Wonderful. Right. So let's make sure that we have our route set up. We have our get route. So what we need to do is we need to get a post route. And we'll just have that as contact as well. And we'll have this method as send email. And contact.send will be the name. So we'll save that, post route, good. Okay, so send email. And again, this is going to be /contact. So let's go ahead and define a public function of send email. And we are also going to pass in the request, which is how we are going to get all of our information. And we also need to make sure we spell that right. Request. I can't spell today. Request. And we also need to import that. So let's go ahead and import that using PHP Companion. And that's going to be the Illuminate HTTP request. Wonderful. And we'll save that. And cool. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to validate it. So this validate and request, and then we're going to pass in an array for the second parameter here. And the first one that we're going to look at is so we have name, we have email, and we have message. Okay. So we'll have name, and that is going to be required. And we're also going to have a max of 255, and that is going to be a string. The next thing that we're going to do is email. That's also going to be required. Required. And that's also going to be a max of, or actually, first thing that we're going to do is we're going to validate it as an email address. And then we're going to say it's going to be a max of 255. And the last one is going to be message, and that one is just going to be required. All right, so if, now let's check out Laravel validate fails. This is wonderful thing about Google is we can, just basically make sure that everything is good to go. So validator, we're not using the validator command. If validator fails, but if it does fail, let's just see here, the form, none of these are required. Cool. So we'll go ahead and just submit this. Oops, my bad. Refresh. Send email. Oh, yes, we forgot the CSRF token. Sorry about that. So we are going to put at CSRF. That's what we needed. My bad. All right, now we'll send email. All right, wonderful. So it's putting us back onto the contact page because we haven't actually defined a name or an email address or a message or anything like that. And how we can figure that out is we can just return the request. And that request will be returned only if this passes. So if we save that and we go back, as you can see, we're not getting the request because there's nothing passed into here. But if we enter in the message, and we'll just put that, then we are getting the request. Wonderful. Awesome. So let's learn how to handle these errors here. And these errors are really, really simple. I actually have and I'll open it up real quick over here on my other computer, secondary hard drive. I have a code snippet that we can go ahead and include. And this code snippet is extremely helpful with all of the database errors and flash messages and all of that stuff. So I will also include this in our GitHub repository at the very end of the tutorial. So let's see here, component, or that's not components. We want partials, and then we want global. Yes, global. Here we go. Boom. Okay, so this messages. This is underscore messages.blade.php. This will display an alert, okay, and the alert will be primary if the session has primary. Alert dismissible, we can fade it in, we'll show it, and then it just defines a bunch of different alert types. But the number one thing that we're interested in right now for the errors is this little bit of code here at the very bottom. So if count errors, okay, because errors is automatically going to be passed in if the validation or validate method fails. If errors is greater than 0, if the count of errors is greater than 0, then what we want to do is we want to display the errors, and then for each errors, all, and we're going to use this all method to get all of the errors, we're going to do display error, and we're going to go ahead and throw that into a list as well, an unordered list, and then we're just going to echo out the error itself. And then this is just for data dismissing and making sure that we can close that out. So what we want to do is we actually just want to copy that, and we'll create a new partial, and that one's going to be underscore messages.blade.php. We'll save that, and then we'll go into our layouts, app.blade.php, and let's see here. Home. Did I name that wrong? Wow, okay, so I actually named this wrong. I didn't want this to be sidebar, I wanted it to be navbar. I was wondering why we had that there. So underscore navbar. It's like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, cool. So now we'll go back to there, and then this looks going to be underscore navbar. And then right underneath the navbar, inside of our container, we are going to include the messages partials. Underscore messages. Save that. Now we'll refresh, and we'll go ahead and send the email. And here's our errors. Wonderful. And again, we can go ahead and dismiss those. So now we have error handling inside of our website. So now that we have error handling, all we need to do now is create a notification. So let's take a look at notifications real quick. Notifications. I don't want Envoy task runner. Laravel notifications. There we go. And come on, open up. I know I clicked you. Okay, so sending notifications and creating notifications. Well, the first thing that we're going to need to do is run this PHP artisan command. Okay, so that's going to be the notification. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll clear this and we'll run PHP artisan make notification, and this is just going to be send email send contact notification. Okay, I'll open this up just a little bit so that it's all on one line. Good. And where is this notification being stored at? Well, that's a good question. It's actually in our app notifications. So there's our notification right there. So we'll open that up. Now, sending notifications, you can do this a couple of different ways. If you're using the notification on a class called user, okay, which is our user class, then we can just use this notifiable trait and call it as user notify, and then we'll have the notification here. But we are going to be using the notification facade, but we are also going to be using on-demand notifications. So this is what we want, okay? And then we will define a few things here. So let's go back to our contact form, and then we're going to put a notification, and let's see here, we need route, and the route is going to be mail. So who do we want to send this to? And we're just going to go ahead and send this to test@gmail.com, right? And then we also want to do what? Notify, right? We want to use the notification right here, notification. And then we're just going to put new send contact notification, and we're going to pass in the request. If I can spell request right. Holy cow. Okay, so there's that. And we also need to set up MailTrapDo. So if we haven't set up this MailTrap, go to your .env file, which is in the root of your project file. And we're looking at the mail drivers here. So let's go to MailTrapDo. And we will log in to the demo inbox. And then this is going to give you all of our information. So if you don't have an account, create an account. It will come to your MailTrap.io inboxes. Demo inbox is automatically going to be there. You click on demo inbox, and then the SMTP information is what you need. You do not need POP3. You just need SMTP. So we are going to use smtp.mailtrap.io, which is already wonderfully there. We are actually going to use port 465, not 2525. 465 also is encrypted, so we're going to use TLS encryption. And then the username is going to be this little character there. The password is going to be the password. We'll save it. But after you change something in your .env file, you actually have to go ahead and restart your PHP artisan serve command. So in order to get out of that, you hit Control-C, and then you can go ahead and type in PHP artisan serve one more time, enter, and then we'll refresh the page on our contact page, and this should be good to go. Now, we are going to send the email to test@gmail.com, but what are we going to do? We need a few things first. First, we need to define a protected variable, and this variable is going to be called request. And we're going to also put this request variable in the construct as well, because of the fact that we are passing it into the object instantiation right here. So what we need to do is we need to say this request equals request, and that way the variable is going to be able to be stored in this request. So the request is kind of weird. It's being passed into the object, okay, or it's being passed into the class, right? And then we're grabbing it here, and then we are telling this class to have a protected function called or a protected variable called request, and then we're saying our protected variable inside of our class is going to be equal to what we passed in from the contact controller. So that's how that works. We're going to use the mail, via mail. We're not going to use Nexus or whatever in order to define the, SMS or anything like that. So the first thing that we're going to do is we have a couple of different things. We're going to have a subject, and the subject is going to be someone tried to contact us. Okay, and the next thing is going to be greeting, and the greeting is going to say hello, and then the line is the introduction to the notification. Right, so someone with the name of, and then we're going to put this request name, and then ... and then is trying to contact us. And then we are going to put another line that says, here is their message. And we'll put another line, and that will be this request message. And then we are going to make this action reply, and then it's going to be a URL of mail2. Everybody should know this from the anchor tag for HTML. And then we are going to also concatenate on this request email. And it says, we don't need this last line. Thank you for using our application. So we'll just get rid of that. And we should be all good to go. And we'll save it, and we'll test it out. So Jonathan Robinson. Email is going to be, JD's Web Service at gmail.com. And this is going to be, this is a test message. Awesome. And then we're going to send the email. And then as soon as we send the email, it's going to it's going to basically just return the request. But first, instead of doing that, we'll go ahead and flash a session. And that session will have a success name, and it's going to say the email was sent successfully. And instead of returning a request, we're going to redirect to the route of, let's see, web, pages.index. And so it should redirect us back to the home page, and we should be good to go. So let's click on send email and hope to God it works. Okay, class controller's notification not found. Okay, understandable. Duh. Okay, so we'll find that, and we'll use the notification. Is it notification? I think it's the illuminate. Where is it? Illuminate notification. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so find use illuminate notification, and we also need to import the send contact notification as well, and that's in the app notification send contact notification. So let's go ahead and retry this. Send email, call to undefined method, route. Let's see here. What did I do wrong? Notification. Oh, I imported the wrong one. I did this before. So it's actually not the illuminate notification / notification. It is the illuminate support facades notification. We're going to use the notification facade. So that is my bad. We'll go back, and now we'll send the email. And session is not found. Wonderful. So that means at least it got to the session flash, which means it works. So use session. We'll save that. And we'll go back. And we'll actually see right here, someone tried to contact us. You'll see that email already been sent, right? It says, hello, someone with the name of my name, right, is trying to contact us. Here's their message. And then it says, this is a test message. And then the reply, if you look down in the bottom left-hand corner, it says the email address. And it'll open up in the mail program. And then it says, regards, Laravel. So we'll change that in just a second, too. So we'll actually just clear the inbox. And the session is good to go. So we'll go back. And so let's fix a few things. We'll save that. We'll go to our .env file. And we're just going to say... static site, or we'll actually put it in quotes, static site. Save that, and we'll also change the URL to port 8000. Save that as well. And let's see, what else do we need to do? Oh yes, restart. So we'll do that again. And now we'll send the email. Oh, page expired because we just restarted the website, so we'll do that. This is a test message. And send email. Wonderful, success. The email was sent successfully. So if we go back here, this is another email. And we also changed the name of the application. So static site is now being, regards, if it, whatever your site name is going to be, that's what it'll be, down here. And it says this is a test message. So that is our contact page. So I think we actually are done for the contact page, and we are done for the home page. So that is it, guys. We are pretty much done with, the basics of the website here and using our forms and, our routes and controllers and all that stuff. But I do want to just let you know, one other thing, whenever you're doing forms, this is the number one thing that always messes people up, is you forget your CSRF token, and then people, hit their heads off walls and try to figure out why, this is not working. But one other thing that I just realized and forgot to tell you guys, if you do the action and then you submit the action of a pound sign, you're submitting it to the same exact URL with a post method. So if you see on our web.php file, you can see that both our get and our post method is /contact, right? So if our /post method, or if our post method was contact/send, okay, we would actually have to define our action here, okay? And our action, we can just use double curly braces, and we can just say route, what was it? I think it was just contact.send. Yes, contact.send. And then that gets rid of that. So we could have whatever URL we would like here because we are using the route name here. But since we only used contact for both get and post, we didn't have to define this route. We can define it anyways. It will still work, but it's just a shortcut. It's better to define your routes because that's just how you should program get in the habit of programming it, because if you ever change your web.php file, your HTTP routes, and you forgot that you didn't define your action route here on the contact page or on the form, then you can effectively break your website, which is not a good thing. So if anybody has any questions, comments, whatever, feel free to go ahead and comment down below. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter. I get notifications all day, every day. It's linked to my phone. So that's the best way. Twitter is the best way to figure out when I'm going to be releasing another episode. With my work schedule here, coming up, I might not be able to make as many, but I definitely, or as many videos, but I definitely will be able to answer any questions that you guys might have. All right. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. See ya.